This is WizardShack. It's a podcast of sorts, or so they say.
Speaking of more nostalgia, I saw X-Men 97. I saw the first 2 episodes, and you know what? It is okay. I thought it was very okay. I didn't hate it, didn't love it. I thought it was like, okay, this is an animated cartoon. One thing I'll say that I don't know if this is a plus or a minus, but it felt like some shitty cartoon from the 90s. So there you go. I guess you nailed it, Disney. Let's give it a clap for Disney. You nailed it. It felt like a shitty 90s cartoon. Um, I mean, I like X-Men 97. I think it was better in the beginning of that whole X-Men animated series. I thought it was better then, and then it kind of trailed off. That's kind of what happened when I was watching it, and maybe I just trailed off. I probably got old for it. But again, it wasn't to me. I was thinking about it. It wasn't 97 when that show came out. I was thinking like earlier. 97 was like the end of it. I mean, the X-Men animated show, I felt it was like early 90s. I was going to Pizza Hut with Book It when I was like 6 years old. So I don't know where that falls in on it. I mean, all right, yeah, here we go. Yeah, this actually does make sense now. So it started in 92. That makes more sense with what I'm thinking of. 92 is about the time I was watching that show. And I look younger than I am. But you know what? I found the first 2 gray hairs in my it was on my what is it? Sideburn today. I found 2 gray hairs in my sideburn. Sad moment. Sad moment. I'll be gray soon. I'll be gray soon because I have 2 gray hairs. I was like, do I pluck these out? Do I get rid of them? What do I do? But those are my first gray hairs. But again, yeah, I was around in 92. I was around. I was 5 years old. 5 or 6. I remember going to see getting Book It from first grade. You'd have to do a book report. You'd get this little sticker. You get a couple little stickers, then you could go get a personal pizza from Pizza Hut. And then when I got the pizza, it came with like a little Happy Meal thing from Pizza Hut, which at then it was a VHS tape of X-Men. I mean, it's like I can go find it. I thought about it. Like I can go find my Pizza Hut X-Men tape. And those tapes were like the first couple episodes of this animated series. And it was really good. I remember like loving those tapes. I mean, again, I was like 5 or 6 years old, so I didn't know like, oh, at Saturday at 11 o'clock, go watch the X-Men show. No, I like found that later. So I found X-Men more on repeat, and also back then it was like they're really pushing the X-Men in the comics and the toys. I had some X-Men toys. I had a Nightcrawler toy. I had all that. I always liked Cyclops, and Cyclops was a big part of like the character of this show. And even I noticed now in the new series that he is. I always thought I was like I like Cyclops and like but now I see they're really trying to push Cyclops. That was like the push. They're pushing Cyclops. They're giving him the belt at the time. Like a wrestler. They're giving him the belt. But here you go, X-Men 97. So far, it's been all right. I see the audience score is really high. Let me refresh this. Has anything changed here? 93? Same thing. Um, Same thing. Yeah, it doesn't feel too bad. I don't really see why anyone's complaining. There is a lesbian kiss in the fucking show. Oh my god, a lesbian kiss, which isn't that the best? Come on. If it was dudes kissing me, I don't know. Come on. But it's like in the background of a club, you see 2 people kissing, and if you really pause it and see that they're both girls, but if you didn't pause it, it'd just be like 2 people kissing in a nightclub. Is it a big deal? No. Will people complain about it? Yes. 100% audience score here, no, I'm sorry, 100% critic score, which is 44 reviews. I'm surprised at that. 93% audience score. Is it worth that? I don't know. I'd say probably not. To me, it's okay. I don't know. I had an okay time watching it, but did I love it? Nah, not really. The first episode is basically about it's after Professor X is dead, because by the way, that's how the show ends, but he's dead, quote. He'll be coming back, so You know how this is with comics. He'll be back. He's dead. Okay. He'll be back. Magneto is kind of by will appointed to be the head of the X-Men. And it's also Jean Grey is pregnant. So Jean Grey and Scott Cyclops are on the I think is it Scott Summers? I have no clue. I'm not a big comic guy. So I'm just trying to think here. Is it Scott Summers? I think it's Scott Summers. Yeah, I think so. If I click episodes here, what does it say? I think it's Scott Summers. Come on. Am I crazy? Am I crazy here? It could be crazy. Is it Scott Summers? I think it's Scott Summers. Is that Cyclops? Scott Summers? I thought so. Let's see the details here. Cyclops. They're not saying his name. I think it's Scott Summers. I think it's Scott Summers. That sounds right, right? Yeah, he is contemplating leaving the X-Men with Jean Grey, and then Magneto comes in the frame, and then also they found out about a Sentinel lab that's going on down in the Sahara Desert, so they fly out there and shut down this Sentinel lab, and you got Morph involved. He's not as I thought he'd be more gender fluid as everyone was complaining about, but no, he's just kind of fluctuates. He wasn't a bad character. He's not a big character in that. So, but you know what? That's the thing I was thinking about with X-Men 97. Everyone's like, all the other, like the left is like, you didn't fucking know that it was just supposed to be about gay people. No, that's not exactly what X-Men is. I know it's an allegory for people that are different, but that didn't necessarily mean gay. That meant like outsider. You're different. And everyone I think can relate to that because there's a period of your life or periods of your life where you feel different than everyone else or you feel like an outsider. I'm into punk rock, everyone's into country. Like you're the outsider. So it relates to everyone. It wasn't necessarily about a gay character. Like it wasn't necessarily about a gay character, but a lot of people are gonna make it about a gay character. But yeah, it's about everyone. So that's I think what's related to X-Men was you're a little bit of an outsider, you might like this show, like that was I think that's sort of what drew a lot of people in. Did it draw me in? No, I think I just kind of liked I always kind of liked Wolverine. I kind of liked Cyclops. Storm was cool. You got Monkey Man, a blue Monkey Man. I can't go wrong with blue. You show me a blue Monkey Man, I'm in. Gambit was cool with the cards. Yeah. But Blue Monkey Man, that's all you need. Just tell me I'm making something with a Blue Monkey Man, and I'll be in. Any kind of Monkey Man, I think I'm in. Even that Acolyte show, I saw like a Monkey Man in the background, the kids. I want to see what's going on with that Monkey Man. I'm intrigued. You get a Monkey Man involved, I'm in. I'm gonna tell you that Hollywood. Hey Hollywood, more Monkey Men. Like Planet of the Apes, I'm all in, man. Planet of the Apes, I'm in on all those. I will see all those. That Planet of the Apes series that happened a couple years ago was pretty good, pretty good. And you know why? Because there was Monkey Men. But a smart blue Monkey Man, I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Anything Beast was always a character that was like in the background, and as a point, oh man, the first episode of X-Men, the animated series, not 97. 97 now is this little fucking reboot shit. But the first episode of the animated series, Morph gets killed and Beast gets fucked up and he gets like captured. And like Beast is captured. And that was always like fucked up because I was like, oh, this fucking monkey guy's getting captured. You feel for that monkey man. Like that's our innate, like, DNA of biology. Like you want that monkey man to be free. Like I'm finishing this bottle off. This is a drunken review. This is a drunken review of everything here. Jubilee, she's Asian in this. I didn't know she was Asian. I looked it up. Apparently, in the comic book, she's Asian. My reference to X-Men is this animated show, which you know what? I know I've heard older Gen X people talk about how they thought this was lame because it wasn't showing the real X-Men. It was kind of more like, like a kid version of the X-Men comics, which for me was all right because I was a kid, so this all worked for me. Like I was again 6 years old to 10 years old while this was all happening with the X-Men show. So I was in the wheelhouse. I was in that wheelhouse of Blue Monkey Man and Cyclops with a guy with knives. You know what? Wolverine never did it for me. I always liked Cyclops and Beast, and Gambit was cool. And I always liked Rogue because she was kind of hot and also like overpowered. That was like the ones I liked. And then Storm was cool because she's got one of the coolest powers in the whole. She's got like probably has like the coolest powers involved in every superhero. And I think that was kind of like what was nice about X-Men was there was a lot of cool ass powers, and then kind of combined into a group was awesome. But again, I think like the Cyclops with like the eyes that shoot was always really awesome. I always liked that. Yeah, Cyclops is a cool character. Jubilee was always lame and still lame. She just kind of like is in this episodes dancing with fireworks, and I guess that's racist. She's Asian with fireworks, so. Hey, it wasn't. I didn't write it, but a little racist. Little racist. Stop Asian hate, though, right? Gambit has a belly shirt on in the kitchen, which is like I was laughing at that. He's got a belly shirt on, making beignets, which I guess he's got to make something French because he's French. He couldn't be making French fries. It's got to be beignets. So he's frying up donuts. That's where we see him. And I don't think it's funny how fit everyone is in the X-Men. I don't think any of them would eat beignets or donuts. None of them would eat that. No. And then there's that guy, Bishop in the background, who I always thought, like, I kind of never liked him in the show. I was always like, this is an extra guy. I'm like, they're trying to put him in there. Maybe he's black. They're trying to put him in. Storm, I liked when she didn't have the, millennial haircut. Give Storm back her full white hair. I don't want a half shaved millennial Storm. I don't think I like that. Don't think I like that. But Jean Grey is pregnant and they're having a baby. They want to leave, so that's basically what happens. Then Magneto comes into play. That happens, and they also take out some Sentinels in the Sierra Desert, like some extra Sentinels, and it's all right. Is it bad? No. Is it great? No, no. But will I watch it? Probably. I'd like to almost. I kind of want to recap this again once it's done. Once it's done, I'll give you a full recap of what I like about it, what I didn't. So far, I don't dislike anything, but is it like groundbreaking? Is it breaking new ground? I don't know. Is it very cool? Yeah.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Lucasfilm logo. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, but no title crawl. Oh well!
I applauded it for being different.
It broke new ground!
Yeah. Jubilee. A big part of the first episodes of X-Men is that's also like, dude, that show's so of its time. Like that first episode opens up with her going to a mall in an arcade. Yeah, there's no mall arcades anymore. That does not exist. There's no malls. Malls don't exist, but malls barely exist. Like that is on the precipice of being completely wiped out. But yeah, back then there were fucking arcades and malls, and they were awesome, by the way. There was an arcade right by the food court in the mall I went to. It was really cool. It's called Time Out. It's called Time Out. It's a cool name, right? And it was it's funny. It was very X-Men, very of that time. It's like you'd be there as a little kid and you'd be intimidated by the older 11-year-olds. You'd be 6 and you'd be intimidated by them. So there was that. There was that. But you'd also be like, oh, these people know about they're good at Mortal Kombat, They're good at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. And that was the funnest thing about arcades is you'd go to the arcade. And by the way, X-Men had a great multiplayer game too, where everyone like you could pick your character. And I think I always picked. I was gonna say I think I always picked Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler was my favorite character in this original series. I don't know why. I always had Nightcrawler action figures. I always liked him. He's like a weirdo. He's like a weirdo circusman. Yeah, and there's cool points with this. I remember he gets caught in space. He like saves someone in space, and then you think he's dead, and then he like kind of morphs up, and it was kind of cool. Yeah, Nightcrawler's great in this. I'm kind of excited to see what they're gonna do with that. I mean, I guess is Nightcrawler dead at this point? I don't know, but Nightcrawler was not in this. I would love to see him back. He was a good character, a French circusman, which I guess I kind of think most Frenchmen are circusmen. So, but yeah, I didn't know she was Asian. I didn't know that until I was reading about it, the original actor. Because here is the original Jubilee, by the way, who was an annoying character. To say, like, she was an annoying character. She was always like, I don't need to see more of a Jubilee scene, but they would press that into it. But yeah, Jubilee, and also all these outfits, by the way, they look ridiculous, but I feel like that's what people were actually wearing at raves in the 90s. Like, I kind of have this memory of people wearing like these ridiculous kind of things. This is kind of like a late 80s, early 90s vibe that was kind of happening. Like, it is real. Don't get me wrong. There is a realness to this. Is this exaggerated? A little bit, yes. But yeah, here's her at the arcade. This has got to be the first episode. This is what I'm talking about. This is before the Sentinels attacked them all. The Sentinels attacked them all. The Sentinels are always really cool. Cool fucking villains, big machines. They're always kind of cool. They kind of made them lame where they started to take them out. They were very threatening at first, but the voice actor Alison Court, who she also didn't know that Jubilee was Asian because I didn't fucking know. So, and I watched a lot of this and I love the X-Men. I didn't fucking know, but again, I kind of hated Jubilee, so I didn't really care to find out more about her. But yeah, she found out. I didn't know she was Asian. It was never mentioned in the character description. It was never something that was focused on. It was actually years later that I found out she was an Asian American. You can just say Asian. That's okay. Yeah, but now since then, she will not be voicing the character because she thinks it's racist to voice an Asian character. And I kind of think it's crazy. You know, like I was thinking about it. Is it like, would I give a shit if a black person voices a white character? No, I wouldn't give a shit at all. Would I give a shit if an Asian person voices a white character? No. Why does it have to be such an issue? I don't really get it. I mean, I guess it's like you're just so for giving like you know, people of color. Oh God, I can't believe I said that. I can't believe I said that. Giving American minorities roles, which again, I'm all for. I'm all for the best person being in anything. I don't care if you're the best voice actor and you're black. I would love them doing white characters. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit at all. That's what's nice about professional sports is you watch like a pro NFL game or a pro hockey game or whatever. It's not about the fucking race. It's like it's almost like it's so anti-Hollywood in a sense. Like Hollywood's like, oh, we gotta push an agenda. We gotta put these people. We gotta have 3% black and 8% white and this or that. No, it's about the best fucking person in the role in sports. Best basketball players are usually black because they're the best of the sport. Hockey, the best people who play hockey are probably white because they're the best of the sport. Like, again, maybe it's just not because it's not the black community, but whatever. That's how it is. There's people of talent. People of talent is important, And this voice actress, I remember her voice. I always she fit the character. It was a good, annoying character, but to me, she's Jubilee. So did she have to, abandon the role? To me, no. But I get it. It's that white guilt. It's that white guilt. White guilt. From white people. White people. But I don't know. Here's my last shot of the night, by the way. Raises up to Jubilee being Asian, right? Hey, I don't know. That's the least threatening race, right? Come on. Oh, did I say it out loud? I did. But again, it was an enjoyable show so far. I'll watch it more. I'd like to watch the whole episode to see if I can give you an overall opinion. good shows on right now. Maybe I mean Asian stuff's taking over. Maybe it's an Asian wave here. Everyone's kung fu fighting, right? Watching Shogun. Shogun's really good. Check out Shogun. But is it great? No. That's like this X-Men show. Is it great? No. And also, does Magneto look ridiculous? Yes. The way they ended the last X-Men show, where Magneto has the stupid M outfit, like, is embarrassing. And even as a kid, I thought that was like, oh, that's embarrassing. I was like, the way, like, I don't know. Magneto looks really cool with the red outfit and the helmet, but the outfit where he's got the M on his chest looks fucking dumb. And him with long hair looks really stupid. By the way, it was like a big thing in the 90s. I remember Superman had long hair. I don't think Batman ever did, but Superman had long hair. I remember Superman had a mullet for like a long time. Like when I would watch, I mean, again, I was never like a big comic person as a kid, but I was in pop culture. I knew of things, and I would see comics, and I would see a few things. I had a few people like hand me down comics. I have some hand me down comics, and X-Men was one of them. Cable was a popular character at the time. Spider-Man was always popular. Spider-Man in the 90s was like big. Maybe I'm wrong, but I remember Spider-Man being really big. X-Men was definitely the most popular comic. That was fucking huge in the 90s, like early 90s and mid 90s. It was X-Men. Well, I'd say early 90s was Batman. Early 90s was Batman. Batman was huge. Those movies with Tim Burton were like fucking gigantic. Everyone loved fucking Batman. But Superman, I remember they had these fucking Superman is dead comics, and I think he got killed, but he had a fucking mullet. That was the thing. It's like Superman had a mullet. He had like a Billy Ray Cyrus mullet in the 90s. It's kind of funny how they made Superman of the times. Like you really thought Superman should have a mullet? I guess they did, man. There you go. I'm gonna show you Superman of the 90s. Had a mullet. If you think Superman is cool, what do you think about Superman with the 90s with a mullet? I'll search this Superman mullet. See, here we go. He had a mullet, man. He had a fucking hardcore mullet. And there was again, like you'd have to like see comic books that I have, but I have comic books where I'm like certain he had a mullet. Like I'm certain. Yeah, here we go. This is kind of what I remember him looking like in the 90s was this. This is the way they depicted him. He had the little curl, because you got to have the little curl with Superman. You got to have the little curl. Come on. I get it. You got to have the little curl. Everyone says they don't like the curl, but we like the curl here. We like the curl. You know, we like the curl. Yeah, imagine Henry Cavill with the curl. Never had the curl. Did he have the curl? I don't know. He didn't have the long hair. He didn't have the mullet. Didn't have the black suit. Get a little black suit in there. It's cool. Come on. It's a nice touch. It's a nice little salt. It's a nice little topping on the Superman pie here. Cream of the crop, right? Here you go. Here's Nicolas Cage. Looking like a brilliant Superman. Looking like a god, right? Are you a god? They also had to bring back that too with Superman, the god thing. Ugh. Also, yeah, I mean, Ghostbusters. They had to bring back. They had to bring back the mayor. They had to bring the librarian owner into the fucking shot. It was like, who the fuck knows that this guy was in the first movie, except for like the ultra nerds who've actually seen Ghostbusters hundreds of times. I have a Ghostbusters signed DVD right now. Actually, kind of. Let me emphasize this. But here is
This is WizardShack. It's a podcast of sorts. So they say,